get Joe Allen in here. Joe, Twitter is looking like what they've done to Twitter in the last 24, 48 hours. This shows you when somebody's got a glass jaw. One of the theses around MAGA movement, in particular the War Posse, is resilience. Resilience. That means you can take a punch, you can get back up and throw a punch, and you can keep punching. Okay, they cannot defeat us. Every now and then they can beat us, but you can't be defeated. It's one thing about being beaten every now and again and falling down or not winning. You're not going to win every time. Your record's not going to be 17-0. It's just not. That's okay. That's okay as long as you know how to get up and you can take a punch, get up and punch back. Elon Musk he can't take a punch, and he certainly's got a glass jaw. That's obvious the way he cratered on the H-1B visas. Now he's still out there trying to do his madness around this, but we're going to head it off of the past. But now he's taking the entire apparatus. He doesn't want any bad. He doesn't want any. All of a sudden, it's going to be all positive and light. After saying you people are retarded, after the profanity he used about it, he's going to F you in the face. He's going to every form of warfare possibly. He's falling back. He's trying to turn Twitter. He's using his social credit score. This is what he's using it from his masters in Beijing. Have taught him through the Shanghai joint venture of how to use social credit scores. So tell me how these changes have happened in the last 24, 48 hours of how he's changing Twitter to make sure that that the MAGA movement cannot tell him exactly what they think of him, sir.
Well, Steve, this has been ongoing for almost a year that I've watched. You remember when he first bought Twitter in 2022, Elon Musk talked about himself being a free speech absolutist, meaning that anything goes, right? It would be the return to the old Twitter. None of that happened. And over the last, we'll say 7-8 months, you've seen a really dramatic influence or bias or manipulation of who is and who isn't boosted on the platform. And of course, that benefited the Trump campaign, but nevertheless, what he did was put his thumb firmly on the scale and pushed the discourse in the direction he wanted. In the aftermath of the H-1B visa arguments, he began pulling people's blue checks. He began suppressing people, shadow banning them in very obvious ways. And now he's just announced that the platform will deboost negativity, is what he calls it, meaning that anyone that's hurling insults, much like he did calling people retarded, much like he did telling that poor Mormon Elon Musk fanboy that he should go F himself in the face. So yeah, I think it's not only hypocritical, but it just shows how much of a shapeshifter this guy is. Anything that is convenient at the moment is the new zeitgeist of the Twitter platform or the X platform. And it's also important to note, Steve, that even as he's talking about deboosting negative content and promoting what he says will be informational or entertainment content, he's also rolling out the X payment system. So aside from the payouts people get from a high impression count, you're also going to see, I would imagine, something much, much closer to the Chinese credit score, in that people who are deemed to be undesirables or antisocial are liable to have their actual money, their actual wallets meddled with.
This is the danger of the guy. This is the CCP. This is a social credit score. This is what he's gone to. He's got a glass jaw. He can't take because of the autism or where he's on the spectrum. He's clearly not. He's got the maturity of an 11-year-old. You can tell that. But it's obvious. He can't take criticism. One of his weaknesses is that he needs to be loved. He needs the masses to love him. You can tell he's on the stage. He needs that glory. For instance, I don't give a damn. Right? Hey, as long as the objective, that's why 12 O'Clock Guys are a movie. It's the objective. Whatever happens doesn't matter. It's the objective. It's the objective that counts and nothing else. They say it win at all costs, but hey, you have to win. You don't need anything else. he must have adoration. You can tell that. It lights him up. So then when the platform, when his apparatus turns against him, and particularly people that cheered him saying, hey, we hate what you're doing to this country. We know, and you're lying to us, bald-faced lie. These are not higher skilled people. When they turn, all of a sudden he has to go to, what is the Chinese credit score? This is to have a digital ghetto and to only have raised up what praises him. That is like the little boy's mentality. If I want to be the superhero, I want to put the cape on and kind of skip around. You see this a lot in Danbury. These what they call chomos, what they call these sex offenders. They've got this. They've had a maturity level that has stopped, and they want to they want to be. They all watch the movies that have the Cape Crusaders on there. It's an absolute indication of immaturity, of not being able to deal with things as an adult, and that's what you're seeing here implemented now on Twitter. Hang on for a second. Tage Gill, and they've already told you you're going to dig in after President Trump's gone. Joe Allen, are you writing something up now on the Chinese Communist Party's implementation of the social credit score inside of Twitter, sir?
Yeah, I'll be touching on that, Steve. I'm putting together a piece that really tries to capture where I think all of this is going in 2025, a kind of belated New Year's Day piece. Obviously, the news cycle swept aside a lot of different things, but just trying to look at all of the recent events and how this technological system is capturing them, using them to manipulate people's minds, using them to manipulate politics, and of course to absorb people deeper and deeper and deeper into this kind of human-AI symbiosis. You can find it on joebot.xyz. I recommend subscribing now. Yeah. And I've got a few interesting tidbits up at my social media at JOEBOTXYZ. I think that the posse will find much of it of interest.
Fantastic, sir. Look forward to seeing you next week and your piece. Great job, Joe, as always.